Okay, hi everyone. It's been a while since I've done an update on Riot Racers, and there's been a lot of big news since last time I spoke to everyone. So let's go through. There's a fair bit to cover. So first up, I want to talk to you about the launch of the Riot token on Uniswap. So it went pretty smoothly. The token launched at 10 cents and it's currently sitting around 20 cents. So there was a fairly big ramp up to around between 30 and 40 cents, and now it's settled around that 20-cent mark. So that was pretty big news. Second, so I talked about this a little bit in the past, but there's been some rewards given to Crypto Whip owners and Genesis owners. So that's in that Riot Owners Club. And that means that they'll be able to access rewards in the form of Riot tokens, which they'll get monthly. And while that does reward early adopters, people can still obviously buy into that. It just means that it'll keep the value of those Genesis cards higher, and it will keep those crypto whips to reward those early adopters. So that's pretty exciting news as well. And it is also for landowners. So if you own some land, then it'll help with that. So gas stations, mechanic shops, billboards, and racetrack land. But you need to own two pieces of those land. All right, the next thing we're going to look at is that there was a community contest. So the Riot Racers team created a contest so that the community could be part of choosing one of the next cars in the Genesis drop, I believe, the one that's coming up this week. And a little bit disappointingly, everyone went for fairly boring standard sports cars in the finalists. I would have liked to have seen that James Bond Aston Martin, because that was a little bit different and interesting, as we already have a fair few race cars like that. But that's democracy for you. But it was a great idea to see the community get involved, and there was so many cool cars and all those pictures of cars. I spent a fair bit of wasted time looking through all the pictures of the cars on there and reading all the comments. So that was pretty fun while it lasted. So the next big thing that happened was that George released some really detailed rarity information about all of those cars. And it's good to see that that's had a bit of an impact on the prices across on OpenSea, but super impressive. The attention to detail in that rarity was incredible, and keeps that buzz going. Now, this one's probably the biggest one for today's video, and that was the announcement about the metaverse connected to the Riot, or the Riot metaverse. Now, with the Riot metaverse, you can own land, you'll be able to develop that land and even start businesses on that land. So this is a really huge news, and if this takes off, it could be massive. And it probably looks at, it probably stands to reason that if the game, the Riot Racers game, does well early on, then our expectations for this metaverse are going to be huge. Because while there are a few different metaverses around, I think there's not too many with as strong a team as this Riot metaverse. But in the end, they've done really well so far, but the test will be to see how they release that first game. And it will mean that the utility for the Riot token will increase if this metaverse becomes popular. So with that metaverse, there are 3 total games. So we already know the Riot Racers game. There's also going to be a game called Riot Rampage, which is a street fighting game, and that's slated for 2022. And the third one is Riot Rush, which is a chase game. And these 3 games will be released in a staggered fashion. So although it seems like there's big news all at once, there's still quite a bit of time between both, or all 3, I should say. So this announcement's given me sort of those Decentraland, Wilder World vibes, where we've got a really good, interesting team creating a metaverse. A little bit with the CyberKong, so hopefully seeing that value we can get out of those Riot tokens and see that Riot token increase in value. Now, it's definitely ambitious, so as I said before, depending how if the team keeps on delivering as they have, then people are going to get more and more excited for this metaverse that they've announced. Okay, the next bit of news has been that the last 3 gas stations have sold at an auction. So this time they tried something a bit different. So they put the auction on OpenSea, and it seemed to work pretty well. The team said that any winning offer above 6.6 ETH, the extra ETH would go towards 3 charities. So that's pretty cool. And the the gas stations ended up selling for about 9 ETH. So that was really good to see some Ethereum going to charity. Now, this might be what you've all been waiting for, which is that fifth and final Genesis drop. So this is going to be huge. Now, the format has changed a little bit. So based on some of the issues they had in the last couple of drops around just way too much traffic at once on the marketplace, they've now created a raffle type system. So to be ready for that, you need to register at riot.fun. You'll be allocated a time about 24 hours before the drop. And I guess it puts you in a queue with a few other people, or a number of people. That's not confirmed yet. So what that will do, it'll mean there'll be less congestion all at the same time on the marketplace. So it means that it should be a lot less likely to crash, and it should mean that, you know, that raffle system should work a bit better. And I actually love these raffle systems for drops. I think they're the fairest way to do things. A few other projects have used them in the past, and I think they work great, because if you miss out on the raffle, you feel a bit disappointed, but at least it feels fair when you do miss out, or when you do get chosen for the raffle. So to be ready for the raffle, that closes on October 6th at 7 PM UTC. So you've got a little bit of time to get on that if you're watching this video when it drops. The drop itself will happen on October 7. And to prepare, as I said, make sure you go to riot.fun. You'll be needing to use mainnet Ethereum. It's a desktop only launch, so not on your mobiles. It's through the marketplace, and you need to have your MetaMask connected. So there'll be a total of 897 cars, 507 racetrack lands, 25 billboards, and 29 mechanic shops. So really big one on this. Just make sure you check those announcements on Discord. There's already a lot of information in the latest announcement, but I'm sure there'll be a bit more information after this video goes up on YouTube, so check back on there. All right, so fair bit of information there, but it's been a really exciting time for Riot Racers. And as I've said before, the community is growing, but this is something that I want to finish this video off talking about. And that's just this, I guess, this strange thing in NFT, or the NFT space, which is you look at a project like Riot Racers, which has a really great team behind it. The community's great. The communication's really good. The drops have been crazy popular. So you've got these drops where there's been thousands of people competing, really popular drops, yet the numbers on Discord are still around the 4,500 mark. And then you look at these really rubbish drops, or basic drops that are around the 7,000 mark on Discord, and they're just a basic picture profile, and they still attract that many people. And then something like metaverse, which again, while it's a really interesting 3D artwork, it's got 184,000 people following it on Discord. So I don't know quite what the answer is here, but as I've been spending more and more time around NFTs, it's strange how there'll be certain projects which I guess are really well promoted. So they might be quite weak projects with a pretty average team, and they will have way more followers than something like Riot Racers, which, as I said before, has a strong team. So if anyone knows or has a theory of why this is, as I said, it's probably something to do with influencers on Twitter, probably something to do with the team, certain teams prioritizing promotion over actually getting the project done. And I think that's something that Riot Racers has been doing, is really focusing on good quality without going actively promoting. But yeah, if you've got other theories, let me know. It's just something I'm really interested in. So I'll end the video on that, and hopefully I'll see you on drop day. See you later.